So let's talk about the XZ bug, or actually the XZ possible compromise that was discovered last Friday. So pause to read the screenshots. I'll let you read them at your leisure, but essentially XZ is a compression utility that runs on most versions of Linux and some other Linux-like operating systems. And this is important because with our modern internet, streaming, etc., there is a need to compress a lot of the data. And XZ is a very popular utility that's on a lot of web servers out there that's used to basically compress data so that it can be shared, streamed, etc. Now, Wired has a couple of articles that go into this. Essentially, there was a delay in processing the newest experimental fork of this compression utility. A Microsoft engineer on his off time started digging into why it was a bit slower and discovered a backdoor that had been inserted by a person who had taken on the role as the primary developer of this utility for Linux. It's open source. So this type of attack is called a supply chain attack. And what essentially happens is a threat actor will try to get access to source code and insert malicious code without other people noticing it. And many times this is done through proprietary software that's charged. SolarWinds would be a good example of something that's happened in recent years. They had some code pushed out to their customers that had malicious payloads within it. Now, in this case, because it's Linux, there was one single developer who had been maintaining XZ for a number of years. This mysterious person who seems to be Chinese based upon their name started volunteering 2 years ago to basically help out with this project, and also did about 6,000 lines of code for various other projects. So this person spent 2 years ingratiating themselves into the community and then decided to push out a toxic payload into the dev branch of XZ. Thankfully, it was caught. Those changes were rolled back. People were warned not to use the dev version of this product. Despite the fact that there seems to be a Singapore IP address for this developer or threat actor, based upon the hours worked, it seems like this is more likely either an Israeli, Iranian, or Russian threat actor. It's probably nation-state sponsored because of the complexity of the attack, how long they took. And essentially, this person is working 9 to 5, their local time zone, as their job to do this kind of compromise. It indicates more than likely Russia. However, we don't have details or confirmation of that. Many nations are capable of this type of attack, including China, North Korea, Israel, the United States, Iran, Russia, etc. So we were super close to a toxic payload going out across the internet that would have basically given backdoor access to this threat actors group to web servers across the internet, which would have been a huge disaster.